Someone keeps rearranging the letters in the craft store I work at. It's starting to get creepy. I stared at the aisle end cap display of glittery disco ball letters. Someone had lovingly rearranged the letters to spell out boobs, dick, fuck, one word per shelf, in that order. Like they purposely made them go from less obscene to more obscene. The only shelf they didn't touch was the one that was half covered by the advertisement that read 50% off disco letters. It wasn't worth the effort, I guess, if no one was going to see it. Teenagers, I growled under my breath. I didn't want to sound curmudgeon-y, but damn, it was 15 minutes till closing, and I had a family to get home to. A little girl who stayed up past her bedtime just to hug me goodnight. When you're young, everything's so fucking funny. They never think of the consequences. I rearranged the letters, grumbling all the while. Then I walked away, muttering curses to myself, pushing the dust mop over the aisle floor. I was the only one in the store, and this had to get done before I closed up, or I'd be yelled at. We had a militaristic boss who checked the security camera tapes like a psycho. When I went into aisle 32, however, there was another one, flaccid. Okay, I had to give them points for creativity on this one. We'd mostly sold out of these oversized gold party letters. There were only 10 left. It took a lot of creativity to form an obscene word out of 10 letters. Kudos. Honestly, I rescrambled the letters and continued through the store. When I got to aisle 44, however, where we keep the wooden paintables, like birdhouses and the like, someone had rearranged the wooden letters into words. Just one word, not obscene. Help, I froze, staring at the letters. Well, that was disconcerting. That had to be another joke, right? Trying to give someone a scare, well, they succeeded. I glanced around the store, and even crouched to check the space under the aisle shelves. No one was there, of course. I stood back up and continued pushing the dust mop. 9:03 fuck. I had to hurry it up and close up. I went on mopping through the aisles as quickly as I could. When I got to the baking aisle, and my eyes fell on the cookie cutter letters, I knew there was going to be another word or message waiting, and there was. The cookie cutters had been balanced upright, reading, watching you, all the blood drained out of my face. Shut up, I told myself, pushing the mop faster. It's just a bunch of teenagers trying to scare people, obscenities and creepy messages. This screams of 14-year-old boys who watched a horror movie once. Except, what if it was to different people? The thought lingered in my brain. It was a Friday, one of our busiest days. Close to 100 people had probably been in the store over the whole day. I hadn't been in the baking aisle since yesterday's cleaning. What if these messages are real? What if someone is watching you? I thought of one of our regulars, a guy in his 60s, white hair, roving eyes, thin frame. I always thought it was a little weird that he came in so often. I mean, I think it's amazing when guys craft, but he just stuck out like a sore thumb among the older ladies and the families, especially because he seemed to buy such varied stuff. Play one day and paint by numbers the next, rather than sticking with one niche hobby. What if he'd been coming here so often? Because of me, he was always overly friendly. His gaze lingering sometimes glancing down. I ran to the storage closet and threw the dust mop in. Got my keys and purse, headed towards the front door to lock up. But as I hurried down the aisle, something caught my eye. I turned. The disco ball letters, they'd been rearranged. Instead of obscenities or random gibberish, they now read, better, run. Time seemed to stop. My heart dropped to the ground. Someone else is in the store. I glanced around just in time to see a shape dart behind the aisle. Too quick to see anything apparent gender, race, age, but enough to see that someone was there. Just a flicker of movement. I sprinted towards the door. I didn't even bother locking up as I ran out to my car. My footsteps pounded on the pavement. Something collided with me from the side. I fell to the ground, hard. The asphalt scraped against my cheek. I scrambled up to see a figure standing over me, silhouetted by the red glow of the crafts for all sign. It was a man, but younger than the guy I was thinking of. Someone I vaguely recognized, who'd been in the store at some point, but I couldn't quite place. "Got you," he growled, his throat gravelly. I scrambled up, stood there, frozen, staring at him, locked in a stalemate. Then I dashed around the other side of the car, dove in, and hit the locks. His palms hit the glass the instant the locks clicked. He tried the handle, over and over again. "Hey," he shouted. I climbed over the center console, got in the driver's seat, and reversed out as fast as I could, not bothering to look if I ran any part of him over. I drove and drove, not even glancing in the rearview mirror until I got home. My husband called the police as I hugged my little girl, who was still waiting up for me. Imagining how long she would have waited if I never came home,